Hi everyone, this is Ambroise from Auto Plaisir Motorcycle Rental in Geneva. In this video, we are going to look at the differences between the brand new R1300GS and the previous R1250GS. So here we have a 2023 R1250GS. It's a Pro package in the beautiful GS trophy finish. And we have here a triple black R13GS that is fitted with more or less all the optional equipment. That's the Pro optional package plus comfort package. So let's start with what's identical. And there's not that many things that are identical. The wheels are of the same dimensions. The fog lights are identical. The display is the same. One difference at the startup, you can see it's not the same animation at the startup. The GPS mount is exactly the same, even if the bracket itself is a bit different. Same fuel cap as before. I don't know if it's a good thing. That's pretty much it. A lot of things have been changed and modified, hopefully improved on this new 1300GS. So now let's talk about the differences. There are so many. Let's start with the side stand. It's now aluminum. One thing that is interesting is about the central stand. For those who've been riding the old 1250GS, the rear of your foot was touching the lever here of the central stand. So now, on the new 1300GS, you can fold back this part of the side stand, so it's not in the way anymore. So that's a good improvement. I think the central stand is not standard now on the new 1300 compared to the 1250GS. So this is an option. So the engine is new. I think it's based on the same block as the R18, the custom BMW. So I'm not going to talk that much about that. It's not even broken in. It sounds a bit different. You don't hear the exhaust as much as before. There is more intake noise, I would say. So, well, a bit early for me to tell you about the engine, but so far I don't think it is a reason to replace your old 1250GS. An important change here is the rear frame compared to the tubular rear frame we had on the previous 1250GS. So it seems like it's like two half shells that are assembled together. So it probably reduces the number of parts to be assembled here, and probably the stiffness of the rear frame has been improved. I remember when the bike is loaded, you could see the torsion of the rear frame when you have a passenger getting on the bike. I suppose this has been improved a lot with this new design. You know, Tesla is manufacturing molded frames like that, so I don't know who's copying the other, but that's a fact. You have a completely new design here on the rear. The seat, this is an optional comfort seat for the passenger. You cannot adjust the height of the seat anymore, unlike the 1250GS. You can see here there is a gap, so the seat can move up. So it's not possible anymore on the 1300GS. This bike is fitted with the adjustable height suspension. Automatically, when you stop, the bike goes down. I have to admit it's comfortable to be a bit lower on the bike. I don't know if it's an improvement or not, but it is an option, of course. A €500 option to have the adjustable height suspension. Let's have a look under the seat. This is the new key of the 1300GS compared to the 1250. The seats are heated on the 1300GS. This is an option, of course. The latest 1250GSs, the 2023 models, BMW took off the option. That means if you want to have heated seats on the 1250GS, it has to be a 2021 or 2022. In 2023, no more heated seats. So no more adjustment of the seat height. The battery has moved under the seat. A more conventional location. On the previous 1250GS, it was situated on the right side of the bike behind this trim. By the way, this is where you have to put your key if it runs out of battery to be able to start. Of course, you can still have a low seat, that is a seat with a bit less foam. This is a protective material for the tank that is different from what we have here on the 1250. These things tend to wear or pop out sometime. We'll see how it lasts. This material looks like the one we have on the seat. Let's talk about the cases now. There is a lot to say about the cases. So the design has completely changed. I don't know if it's more convenient as before. They are expandable as before. It's just a bit different, turning this lever and then the depth of the case increases. On the previous generation, it was pretty easy, big buttons, and you pull that lever. It was pretty quick. Yes, with some stuff inside, it's probably not as convenient as the new system. One major feature is that you now have the central locking on the three cases, so that's a good improvement. You even have a light inside. I don't know why it's not on. Yes, you have to turn the bike on, okay, to have the light inside. I'm not sure you can really see what's going on. Yes, when it's really dark at night, that can be helpful. It's not very bright. Something interesting in the cases of the new 1300GS, you have a USB plug here. So you can charge your phone, your electronic devices. So that's a good improvement. Top case, however, it's a bit difficult to open it one-handed. Well, yes, that's not great. At least the lid does not fall on your arm as before. So that's a good, I have to admit, that's a good improvement. Ouch. But I have to say that you can open the lid one-handed on the previous GS. That is not as easy on the new. Yes, you need both hands, really. It's a bit unnatural. To increase the size of the top case, same thing here. You rotate this button. One simple test about the cases. I have a backpack for my laptop and to carry a lot of things. I use it all the time. So let's try if it fits. So this is my whole backpack. There is a 16 inches laptop inside, and it fits in the top case of the 1250GS, like that. So it's not even expanded. I can close it. So now let's try in the 1300GS. It seems like the opening is a bit narrow. Ah, yes, it fits. Okay, good. Fits pretty well. So let's try with a helmet. I have a pretty big head. It's a triple X large. Yes, very big head. So I'm not sure it fits with the lock inside. And for sure, the case has to be expanded to be able to accommodate the helmet. So that's the 1250GS. We have heard the lock inside. And let's have a look with the 1300. It fits upside down. Okay, all good. Same thing as before. The right case is slightly smaller than the left case. So let's put my laptop in the case. It fits with the case expanded. The 1300GS has the radar for the adaptive cruise control. So you have a blind spot detector here. It lights up when you have a car behind you. So that's pretty convenient, even if it is already available with other bikes like the Ducati Multistrada or the Triumph Tiger 1200. Here is the rear radar. On the previous 1250GS, the blinkers were already multifunctional. That means when you brake, they would turn on. So they would replace the rear light that has become useless. So now on the 1300GS, it's been replaced by the rear radar. The rear light is gone. Another improvement are the rear foot pegs. I'm sure this design is much better than the previous one. The rubber part was rotating and so that was not feeling great under the feet of the passenger. The blinkers in the front have moved to the handguards. So for sure they are very efficient, much bigger than the previous generation on the 1250GS. They were a bit small. On the other hand, when you drop the bike, either on the 1250GS you had just one plastic part. Here you now have quite a lot of things to replace. If you drop the bike and you break that, it must be a bit more expensive, of course. This plastic part was just 20, 30 euros. I bet this is going to be more in the 150 something, probably. The oil cap has moved. It's now a bit further in the bike. It was so convenient on the previous generation here. Very easy to access, no funnel needed. So this will be a bit more painful to add up some oil if you're on the way. Hopefully this bike does not consume oil. Talking about the windshield now and the wind protection. So this is an optional comfort windshield with these deflectors. And they are very efficient, and it seems like the design of the bike is very well done from that point of view. I've been riding a little bit under a slight rain, and I was wearing jeans, and I have not been wet. My legs were dry in spite of the light rain. So I think it's been improved quite a lot compared to the 1250GS. So this is not as wide on the 1250 as on the 1300. I don't know if you can see that, maybe a bit better from here. These big deflectors here are probably efficient. The windshield is now electric, so this is convenient, even if people were not complaining about the manual setting of the windshield here. Talking about the windshield, hopefully the windshield of the 1300GS will be more scratch resistant than the one on the 1250. I know BMW knows how to make scratch resistant windshield because the one on the Adventure version is much more resistant than the standard 1250. So hopefully this has been improved it's a bit too early. The bike has not even 200 kilometers. So the front light has changed completely. As you can see, it moves at the startup. The new light, nothing moves. It's just that these different lights turn on depending on the angle you're turning in, depending on the lean angle. So this is a different way to improve the light at night when the bike is leaning on the road. The controls are the same, it's just the buttons and their functionality that has changed a little bit. One button has gone, it was originally here. It's the one for the additional lights. Now you have to go in the menu to turn on the additional lights. That's a bit annoying. Well, most of the time you will leave them on and that's it. This button is a very important button with the new functionalities of the 1300GS. This is a shortcut to everything that this switch can do, the multi-rocker switch. So I'm going to explain that in another video, but you have to get used to it. It's not that bad. One good improvement is that you can now put your phone here, and the compartment is pretty large, and is powered by a USB plug here, standard USB. So this is something the competition was offering for a long time already, so that's good. The mirrors are about the same, but with a new connector now for the blind spot detector. The all level gauge has been improved, so you can now see much better than before. From the suspension point of view, nothing has changed much. We still have the telelever in the front. I was afraid that they take off this great functionality that is specific to BMW, so we still have it. What has been improved quite a lot is the diameter of the fork. I don't have the figures yet, but it's much beefier than on the 1250GS. I don't know if you can see that on camera. And I think you can feel it when you get on the bike. It feels a bit stiffer, like when you get on a 1250RS or 1250R. You think you feel the front is stiffer, I think, so it will probably improve the handling. As I said, the layout of the screen has not changed really. Just a few things. You now have a sport display that was on some bikes, like on some sporty models from BMW, like the F900XR. I don't know if the S1000 has it, but this is a display that shows you the lean angle here, so you can try and break records. This is the traction control and brake acceleration. So this is a new display. For the rest, it's the same. And of course, you have the assist menu where you can set a few things. This is something interesting. It's the new damping configuration. Before that, it was the road setting was a bit too bouncy. The road setting is not bouncy at all on the new 1300GS, but it seems like you can modify that, and if you want to have it bouncy as it was on the 1250GS, so you can customize your damping configuration. One thing that is interesting is the front collision warning. The bike can brake on its own if you get too close to a car, for instance. So that can be useful. Just a few differences compared with the previous model, and it's mainly because of the equipment of the bike that is different from the previous one. One thing to notice is that I feel the clutch is a bit stiffer than the one on the 1250GS. Yes, well, I'm really seeking the differences because from that point of view, it's probably one of the easiest clutch you can find on the market for such a big bike. Nothing critical, of course. So the controls are about the same, but you have a new button here, same as on the R18. There's no more central button to turn the bike on or off. This one is gone. So you now use this one to switch off the bike, and you press and hold when you want to lock the steering. And it locks the cases with just one press of a button. So this is it. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I'm sure there are a lot of other differences. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below. I try to answer in the comments or with a new video. Thanks again, and we'll see each other in the next one. Bye.